Some on-screen couples convince you that their characters are in love. But Shen Yue and Chen Zheyuan did something a little different. Before the romance even had the chance to take over, there was already something underneath it. Comfort. The kind that showed up in the teasing, the laughter, the silly moments, and the way they seemed completely unafraid to be awkward around each other. And maybe that is why Mr. Bad never felt like just another romantic comedy. Because the chemistry fans saw on screen may have started with something much simpler. They genuinely looked like they were having fun together. But why did that make their pairing feel so different? And why are fans still attached to them years later? Here on Asian Star Spotlight, we don't just talk about Shen Yue's dramas and co-stars. We explore the stories, the facts, and the bigger picture behind her journey. If that sounds like your kind of content, subscribe and join us right now. When Mr. Bad first introduced Shen Yue and Chen Zheyuan as a romantic pairing, the story already had everything a fantasy romantic comedy needed. A girl with an ordinary life, a fictional character who suddenly appears in the real world, and a relationship that begins with confusion, arguments, and plenty of chaos. But the more you watch them, the more it felt like the connection was not built only around romantic moments. There was an ease between them. Their characters could argue 1 minute and make you laugh the next. The relationship never seemed to depend entirely on dramatic eye contact or perfectly staged romantic scenes. Instead, there was playfulness. And from my perspective, that playfulness gave the romance something many drama pairings do not always have, which is a feeling that these two people could actually enjoy being around each other, even when romance was not the focus. That difference may sound small, but it changes the entire experience. Because when viewers believe that two characters can laugh together, annoy each other, and still choose to stay close, the romance often feels more natural. And that is where the friendship energy behind Shen Yue and Chen Zheyuan became interesting. Off-screen, their interactions often seemed less like two actors carefully maintaining a romantic image, and more like two friends who had become comfortable enough to be completely silly around each other. There were the jokes, the teasing, the unexpected laughter, and those moments where neither person seemed concerned about looking perfectly polished. In one interview, they even jokingly described their dynamic in a funny and chaotic way, rather than giving the kind of carefully prepared answer viewers might expect from a drama couple. And that detail says a lot, not necessarily about what their friendship was behind closed doors, because we cannot know every part of that, but about the energy they were comfortable showing publicly. They did not appear to be trying to convince people that they were a perfect romantic pair. They were simply having fun, and sometimes that is more memorable, because audiences can often feel the difference between people performing closeness and people who have found an easy rhythm together. With Shen Yue and Chen Zheyuan, the rhythm often seemed to be: one person says something unexpected, the other immediately reacts. Someone starts laughing, and suddenly the entire moment becomes more entertaining than whatever they were originally supposed to be discussing. It was playful without feeling overly calculated, chaotic without becoming uncomfortable, and somehow it made their interactions feel familiar, like watching two friends who already understood how to make each other laugh. And this is where I think their off-screen energy may have quietly helped Mr. Bad. Not because every playful interaction automatically creates great acting chemistry, and not because friendship always translates into romance on screen, but because comfort can create freedom. When actors are comfortable with each other, they may be more willing to react naturally, experiment with a scene, or allow small moments to feel spontaneous, instead of overly controlled. And Mr. Bad had a lot of space for that. The drama was not trying to tell a dark, tragic love story. It was playful, fantasy-driven, and sometimes ridiculous in the best possible way. So Shen Yue and Chen Zheyuan's energy did not fight against the story. It fit inside it. Their teasing made the arguments entertaining. Their laughter made the softer moments feel warmer. And the friendship underneath the romance gave their characters a sense that they were building more than attraction. They were building familiarity. That may be why their relationship did not feel like two strangers suddenly becoming deeply romantic because the script said they should. The connection developed through little moments. The arguments, the jokes, the growing comfort, the feeling that even when they annoyed each other, they had already become part of each other's everyday world. And maybe that is the real charm of their pairing. The romance was there, but friendship was always close enough to keep the relationship grounded. Of course, Mr. Bad had many things working in its favor. The fantasy concept was fun. The characters were memorable. And both Shen Yue and Chen Zheyuan brought their own strengths to the story. But I think the pairing stayed with people because fans were not only given a romance to watch. They were given a dynamic to enjoy. There is a difference. A romance asks, will these two characters fall in love? But a dynamic asks, what will happen whenever these two people are together? With Shen Yue and Chen Zheyuan, viewers often seemed interested in both. Fans wanted the romantic moments, but they also wanted the interviews, the behind-the-scenes clips, the teasing, and the moments when their playful personalities appeared. Because those interactions added another layer to the experience. They made the drama feel bigger than the episodes. And even after the story ended, fans still had the memories of the two actors simply enjoying each other's company. That is something a scripted romantic scene cannot create by itself. It comes from the feeling people carry away after watching. And the feeling Shen Yue and Chen Zheyuan left behind was not only, they looked good together, it was also, they looked like they had fun together. And that may be one of the reasons the pairing continues to feel warm years later. Then, time passed. Both Shen Yue and Chen Zheyuan continued building their careers, taking on new projects and showing different sides of themselves. But whenever fans saw them interact again, or came across an old Mr. Bad clip, the familiar energy seemed to return almost immediately. The formal clothes could change. The event could be completely different. Years could pass. But one playful reaction could bring back the feeling of that era. And maybe that is what nostalgia really is. Not simply remembering a drama, but remembering how a drama made you feel. For some viewers, Mr. Bad represents a time when Shen Yue and Chen Zheyuan brought laughter, comfort, fantasy, and romance together in one story. For others, it is the memory of watching two actors whose friendship made every interaction feel a little less predictable. And perhaps that is why fans still talk about them. Not because they need every pairing to become something bigger, or because every friendship has to lead to another project, but because some dynamics leave behind a feeling that is difficult to recreate. And Shen Yue and Chen Zheyuan's dynamic had that feeling. Light, playful, comfortable, and full of the kind of laughter that made viewers want to stay a little longer. But their story also raises a bigger question. What happens when a co-star pairing is remembered not because of the romance, but because of the friendship underneath it? There is another Shen Yue dynamic that made me start thinking about that question in a completely different way. And when we explore it, you may notice something you had never considered before. Now I want to hear from you. What made Shen Yue and Chen Zheyuan memorable to you? Was it their romantic chemistry in Mr. Bad? Their playful friendship behind the scenes? Or was it the way both sides seemed to blend together? Share your thoughts in the comments because this community always notices details that make these conversations even more interesting. And if you want to support Asian Star Spotlight and become even more involved in this community, channel membership is now open. Members receive special perks including loyalty badges, custom emojis, members-only updates, exclusive content, and more depending on their membership level. You can tap join next to the subscribe button on the channel page to learn more. And to our members who are already supporting this channel, thank you. Your support means more than you know. Maybe the reason Shen Yue and Chen Zheyuan made Mr. Bad feel different was never only about romance. Maybe it was the friendship underneath it. The comfort, the teasing, the laughter, and the feeling that before they became a memorable drama couple, they had already found a way to make being around each other fun. And sometimes, that is the kind of chemistry viewers remember the longest. If you enjoyed this perspective, please like the video, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. Take care, and I will see you in the next one, where Shen Yue and Asian stars shine.